the feeling like I'm trapped in my damn mind. Tell the feeling like I'm rapping a damn lie. Tell the feeling like my life is a damn game.
Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a paranormal horror film, Veronica. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. Based on a true story set in Madrid 1991, the film starts with a foreshadowing of police receiving an emergency phone call at Sunday midnight. As soon as the police arrive at the address, the detective notices a worried middle-aged woman running towards two frightened children. The detective and his team try to rescue two more children upstairs, only to witness a horrifying scene. 3 days earlier, on June 12, 1991, Thursday morning, eldest, a responsible sister, gets up to assist her siblings for school. She first wakes up Trez, her third sibling, to take a shower. Then she opens the curtain to wake up her second sibling, Das. And lastly, Cuatro, the youngest of them all. During breakfast, Das informs eldest to bring negative pictures used to look at the eclipse as a class project. Eldest then goes to her mother's room to get Dassie's class project, but she eerily stops when she takes her dead father's photo. Her half-awake mother asks if she's okay, which she affirms. In eldest class, the nun instructor teaches that some primitive cultures believe solar eclipse is a good time for human sacrifices. Eldest's friend, nicknamed Curly, asks her if she has the Ouija board with her. Eldest then responds that the board is with her. When the teacher talks about the different beliefs, the ring bells and signals students and teachers to witness the eclipse. Meanwhile, Eldest, Curly, and Blondie sneak out of the eclipse viewing event. It turns out that they are planning to use the board to summon the spirit of Eldest's father during the eclipse. The three of them head down to the dirty basement. Curly asks Blondie if she has ever done a seance before, but Blondie explains she used paper cutouts, but not with an official board. Eldest then brings out an occult encyclopedia and her father's self-photo used to connect them with the father's spirit. At the same time, the moon starts to get in between the sun when they commence the seance. They ask if there's anyone with them. The glass begins to move, which signifies there is a spirit around. So they ask if the spirit wants to talk to Eldest. The other two want to confirm if it's her father, so they ask again who it is. As the partial contact of the eclipse starts, the glass moves once again. The three of them feel the shiver, but they shrug it off and blame one another if someone's moving the glass. However, the glass moves again, this time so rapidly. The glass stops at the center and burns the index finger of Curly and Blondie as the second contact of the eclipse engulfs the sky. Strangely enough, the board leaves Eldest untouched and seems out of herself. The eclipse continues its third contact, and a glass breaks, earning the screams of Curly and Blondie. On the other hand, Eldest has her index finger bleed at the sun symbol on the center board, then it suddenly breaks. Because of panic, Curly accidentally kicks the candle. They use flashlights to uncover the dim, only to find Eldest lying on the floor, who is saying something uncontrollably, then screams on top of her lungs. Later that day, after fainting in the basement, she ends up in an infirmary. The matron then finds out that she hasn't had her period yet, so maybe she's iron deficient. Eldest then heads to the exit to go home with her siblings, but Trez notices a blind nun seemingly looking at Eldest. As they reach the house, the paranormal events officially start. Eldest goes directly to her room and sees the burn in her bag. She then checks up the broken board from her purse and closes it, placing it atop the cabinet. But when she's about to head outside of her room, her bag drops, which shocks her. Eldest then decides to put her bag below her bed. Shortly after, Cuatro and Das notice Eldest all frozen up as she tries to eat. Das then talks to Trez over the radio to come over. Thanks to the terrified Das who accidentally spills the milk, Eldest turns back to her senses, then wipes her mouth. Eldest catches sight of a mysterious bruise on her shoulder as she washes her towel. Her confusion stops when she hears the telephone rings. It turns out it's Curly postponing their hangout because she's with her mother. Eldest tries to call again, only to find out Curly is lying to her and currently hanging out with Blondie. Hours later, Eldest bays Cuatro and jams their favorite song, Centella. She then hears a crash outside the bathroom and thinks it's because of Das and Trez. The impact grows loud, and it turns out it comes from her bedroom and not from the two. Eldest comes to her room to check and hears Cuatro's screams, but suddenly her bedroom door closes. As soon as it opens, she finds out Cuatro burns because of strange hot water coming from the faucet. Eldest washes her hand after rubbing an ointment to her brother's burns shortly after. Later, she comes to wash the dishes and notices a glass on the sink. Just when she's about to put her index finger on top of it, Centella creepily plays on their television. Anxious, Eldest slowly approaches the TV to turn it off. Little did she know, the unseen creature is silently following and watching her. Eventually, Eldest goes to her bedroom, then moves her bag inside the cabinet. Strangely though, she wakes up suddenly in the middle of the night, noticing her cabinet's mirrored door closing slowly. She then bravely checks what's inside, and she sees Das and Trez curling up in fear. Seconds later, Eldest hears someone calling her. It's her dead father, naked and slowly approaching her. She responds as she backs up, confirming if it's her father. Unfortunately for her, the monstrous burned arms pull her towards her bed. Her father's body starts to change into a spine-chilling evil spirit, reaching her wide-open mouth. Friday morning comes, June 13, 1991. It turns out that it's just a nightmare, but brings her in an ominous panting. Later, the class discussion about a story concludes with her teacher saying that no one escapes the consequences of passing the limit that separates reality from fantasy. Sadly, Curly and Blondie seem to exclude Eldest from their paper crumpling routine, so she asks her teacher if she may go out. With her fresh spine-chilling memories yesterday, she goes back to the basement where the seance took place. To her surprise, the nun suddenly speaks from the corner, then tells her a metaphor of ready-made French toast as the evil spirit who answered her call. The nun takes a look at a photo of Eldest's father and immediately senses that it's not her father who responded to the seance, but an evil spirit. The nun then alerts Eldest to protect her siblings, because the evil spirit now walks with her. Later on, Eldest talks to Curly if she's mad at her. Curly says no and explains that she ignores Eldest because of the strange incident during the seance. Now aware of the devil, Eldest draws a symbol of protection to papers and tapes them around the house when she gets home. Later in the evening, Eldest hears a voice from Das over the walkie-talkie saying that she should not let the spirit hurt them since she was the one who summoned the devil. But when Eldest sees their toy lights up red and blue, she finds out that Das and Trez are asleep. However, when she turns back, she notices a shadow through the wall that quickly chokes Das. The devil suddenly disappears and Eldest shakes Das until she wakes up. Eldest then explains to her confused siblings that there's someone inside the house wanting to hurt them. Shortly after, Eldest gathers her siblings in the living room to sleep together so she can protect them from the devil. When she wakes up from her quick nap, she slowly walks through the hallway and catches the sight of the evil spirit. Das and Trez ask her what's wrong as the silhouette walks closer to the opaque door. Eldest raises the cross only to find out it's her mother, who at this time gets confused. Das and Trez hurriedly run toward their mother, sharing about the spirit and fear they feel with Eldest's encounters. After that, their mother visits Eldest in her room and asks her what's happening. Eldest then recalls the Ouija board and she accidentally calls the devil. Her mother asks why, so Eldest answers she just wanted to talk with her father. Their mother then shrugs it off, insisting she reads too much occult stuff. Another nightmare occurs. Das and Trez jump the bed, so she groggily shouts at them to leave her alone. She screams on top of her lungs when Das and Trez devour both of her arms, while Quattro jumps on top of her. Their mother eerily utters her desire to make Eldest have her menstrual period. Then a strange blast of blood comes in her upper legs. Her screams get louder and louder until she wakes up chasing her breath. It's now Saturday morning, June 14, 1991. Eldest finds out the blood on her pajamas and phone. She proceeds to look behind her phone and finds a burnt mark on it. Shortly after, she notices a book from Quattro's hand. Quattro says that their father reads it with him, and he will come back again to take him where he lives. Eldest instructs Quattro that he needs to plug his ears and repeatedly shout for her name if the creature comes back. Worried for her family, Eldest checks their phone one by one and sees the different positions of burnt marks. Although it's Saturday, Eldest goes to the basement and seeks an answer from the nun. She then asks how to stop it, but the nun tells her that God has nothing to do with it, so crosses and amulets do not work. Eldest needs to do the same way the spirits came in, and she needs to destroy the spirit's pathway. Eldest stops by to a swing to read more about it, and it says she has to do right what she did wrong and never end the seance with a goodbye, or it will stay with her. This means that she needs to do the seance again to open up the pathway for the devil to go back where it came from. After knowing the possible solution, Eldest runs toward Curly and Blondie's party to ask for help and do the seance again. However, Curly and Blondie refuse, with Curly informing Eldest about the thing Eldest uncontrollably utters back on Thursday, that Eldest is going to die today. The world seems to collapse to Eldest's shoulders when she realizes there's no turning back, so she comes to her mother's diner to ask her if she can close her shop and be with them instead. Their busy mother refuses because of the hectic restaurant and promises to take them to the park tomorrow. A late rainy night envelops the tension as Eldest devises a plan to do the board, this time with Das and Trez. Meanwhile, Quattro's task is to draw the protection symbols on the walls, but Quattro, as a child he is, outlines the wrong protection symbols instead. Shortly after, Eldest leads the seance, following the instruction of the occult encyclopedia. They first ask if the spirit is here, and the glass moves into yes. Eldest does not obey the nun's advice and exclaims that they are here to say goodbye to the spirit and needs to leave this place, but the glass moves into no. She then loudly commands the spirit to leave out of there, while she also instructs Das and Trez to repeat her command. Eldest rereads the book and figures out they need to sing a mantra to conclude the seance properly. The three sing Scintilla as the ominous feeling creeps. Their mantra goes in a lower volume, so Eldest asks them to keep going. Suddenly, one of their doors slowly closes, then loud bangings echo the scene. Das and Trez cannot continue to sing because of the fright. The door bursts open, the candles lit off, and the Ouija board breaks. Seconds later, the glass rolls outside the door, so Eldest slowly follows it. The glass knocks on her bedroom door, then leads her to the phone. Eldest switches on her flashlight and inspects the burnt phone, only for the creature to grip her hand. Eldest escapes and quickly runs into the hallway. While the lights blast off, she reunites with her siblings and calls for emergency help. As Eldest cries for aid from the police, she catches a glimpse of the innocent Quattro heading to the door and eventually yanks by the burnt monster. She then frantically follows Quattro to the bathroom. Because of the adrenaline, Eldest trips and loses her consciousness. Shortly after, she wakes up still in the toilet, then finds out Quattro is beside her. She immediately carries her brother and tells her sister to dash downstairs fast as the devil keeps lingering around them. Meanwhile, their mother notices the police cars heading to their place, so she hurriedly runs outside. When the siblings are about to get out, only Das and Trez can make it. Eldest realizes the devil is playing with her because Quattro is not in her arms. Eldest heads back to find Quattro, ignoring the fright from breaking things along her path. She spots him in the bathtub, but the evil shadow pulls Quattro on his feet, then closes the curtains. She tries to approach it, the shadow slaps her, causing her to slump against the mirror. Meanwhile, Quattro runs out of the bathroom to hide in her bedroom. As soon as Eldest recovers, the evil creature possesses her body. She slowly goes to her bedroom to find Quattro as the evil shadow walks through the wall and opens her cabinet, revealing Quattro inside. Her possessed body tries to call Quattro, but Quattro knows it's not her sister, so he continues to plug his ears, then repeatedly calls for her. Eldest then faces a mirror where her true self cries for their life and learns that she became the creature's pathway by using her body to hurt her sibling. It turns out that she was the one who choked Das in her sleep, and she was also the one who put hot water into Quattro's bathwater. Now the devil is trying to use her to kill Quattro. To save Quattro, she attempts to slit her throat to stop the devil from controlling her, but the devil prevents her from killing herself. The beast then catches her body and puts its arm on her mouth, choking her. It is already June 15, 1991, Sunday midnight. The detective and his team witness a horrifying scene of the Eldest screaming in pain as her body strangely warps while struggling and abruptly falls. Shortly after, they notice Quattro in the cabinet and they successfully rescue him. Meanwhile, the police call the medic to rescue Eldest, who passes out on the ground. Outside, the mother awaits Eldest and cries upon seeing her in a horrifying condition. The detective investigates the scene inside the house and finds a photo of Eldest. He tries to touch it, but it's hot as it slowly starts to burn. Since Eldest became the evil creature's door, it ceases to exist in the world when the police declare her already dead, and the electricity suddenly comes back. After that, the detective writes about the incident and certifies having witnessed the first paranormal police report in Spain. In the end, the story remains a mystery, completely inexplicable up to this day. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.